the VOX video about being thankful for the world getting better. Number one is to rain down. So when something is raining down as an expression, that means a lot is coming down. Like not just rain, but let's say if you were reading a news article online, and the news article has some big scandal, and then you could say that the comments were raining down. Netizens were just raining down comments all over the place. So basically, it just means that a lot of one thing is happening or coming. So you can also use this for, let's say, you can use this physically as well. So the example here, it says like the volcano ash rained down. So you can use it physically, and you can also use it metaphorically, like I said, if you were talking about netizens' comments online. Number two, to plummet. If you're ever reading a chart, if you're looking at a graph and it's a line graph and things are going up and then all of a sudden it just drops, we say that it plummets. The physical way that somebody plummets is to fall off a very high place and drop all the way down. So if, it sounds really scary or terrible, but if you were just, at the edge of a cliff on like a mountainside, and if something fell down, that it plummeted from the mountain. Number three, scourge. Scourge is a term that's used to describe like a lot of illness or sickness or suffering, especially if people are referring to stories from the Bible and talking about like, plague or anything like that. We often call those the scourge. If you're watching a movie and it's like a science fiction kind of movie, or if it's a movie about some kind of fantasy adventure and a lot of people are suffering, they often refer to those bad things as the scourge. Number four, headed downward, is also from whenever you're reading any kind of chart or line graph, anything that starts going down. But usually this means like to kind of decrease gradually, not so fast like a plummet. Yeah. Next, number five, peak. When you've reached either the highest point, like on a mountain, or you are the best that you can do at something, or the top condition, and you cannot get any better, or higher. So, obviously a mountain peak, you're at the top. But if you're talking about maybe your physical shape, if you work out constantly, a lot of bodybuilders that compete professionally, they often talk about if they have peaked, or when they have peaked, meaning like, there was a certain year that they have been their best, and then that was the maximum they could do. So since that time, they haven't really been as good, and maybe their ability or their skill or their condition has actually declined a little bit. So that's to peak. Most people use it like in something like sports. If an athlete has a really good year, they peaked that year, and then like afterwards they didn't do as well. So you can use it in that sense. You can even use it to talk about your own kind of skills or somebody else's skills. She's a great singer, but she peaked 5 years ago, meaning she doesn't sing as well anymore. Something like that. So you have a long way to go to play the violin before you peak. some words of encouragement. And last, number six, grateful, to show appreciation, to be thankful. Usually it's a very positive feeling in a way. I mean, you can thank somebody. Oh yeah, thanks a lot. And, but that's sort of like you don't really show any that you're grateful. If someone if you're just really thirsty and it's a hot day and somebody gives you like a cold Powerade or something, then you're going to be grateful. Oh my gosh, I really needed this. If before class, if Song had brought me some coffee, then I would have been really grateful. Oh, Song, thank you for the coffee, but she didn't. And that's our